The room fell silent the moment the billionaire walked in, wrapped in quiet confidence and surrounded by people desperate for her attention. Every executive stood a little straighter, every guest searched for the perfect smile, and every camera turned toward her. But one man never looked up. Wearing a simple Navy service jacket that had seen years of sacrifice, he focused only on helping his little daughter finish her dinner. He had no interest in wealth, fame, or status. To him, the only person who truly mattered was the little girl sitting across from him. Yet within minutes, the billionaire crossed the entire room, stopped beside the forgotten single father, and asked him something that no one expected. In that single moment, every assumption in the room began to fall apart. Before this incredible story continues, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who still believes in kindness and second chances, and subscribe to Soulful Stories so you never miss another emotional journey that reminds us what truly matters in life. Daniel Carter had spent 12 years serving in the Navy. Long deployments, sleepless nights, dangerous missions, and countless sacrifices had shaped him into a man who valued loyalty over luxury and character over appearances. His greatest battle, however, did not happen at sea. It began the day his wife passed away after a sudden illness, leaving him alone to raise their 6-year-old daughter, Lily. From that day forward, every sunrise became another promise that he would never allow his daughter to feel abandoned. He worked security during the evenings, repaired boats on weekends, and accepted every honest job he could find. Life was exhausting, but every smile from Lily reminded him that he was already richer than many people who measured life with bank accounts instead of love. Lily had inherited her mother's bright curiosity and her father's gentle heart. She never complained about wearing second-hand clothes or sharing a tiny apartment near the harbor. Instead, she celebrated the smallest victories, whether it was pancakes on Saturday mornings or watching ships disappear into the horizon while imagining adventures waiting beyond the ocean. Daniel often worried that he could not give her everything she deserved, yet she somehow made him believe that happiness had little to do with expensive things. One afternoon Daniel accepted a temporary security assignment at an exclusive charity gala hosted by one of the country's youngest billionaire entrepreneurs, Victoria Lawson. Newspapers admired her intelligence, television praised her success, and social media followed every move she made. People described her as brilliant but distant, generous but impossible to truly know. Daniel had never cared enough to read about celebrities or billionaires. He simply needed the extra income to pay for Lily's upcoming school expenses. Because childcare arrangements unexpectedly fell through, Daniel brought Lily with him after receiving permission from the event coordinator. She quietly sat beside him during the dinner, carefully coloring pictures while Daniel remained alert to his responsibilities. Unlike everyone else in the ballroom, he never tried to introduce himself to Victoria, never asked for a photograph, and never chased an opportunity that might improve his own future. His attention stayed fixed on Lily, making sure she had enough food, enough water, and enough reasons to smile. Victoria noticed him almost immediately. Throughout the evening she watched wealthy investors compete for her attention while influential guests praised her accomplishments. Yet the only person who seemed completely unaffected by her presence was the quiet father in the navy jacket. Something about his calm confidence unsettled her. She had spent years wondering whether anyone could see beyond her fortune, but tonight one man seemed to have already answered that question without saying a single word. As the evening drew closer to its conclusion, Victoria excused herself from another conversation and slowly walked toward Daniel's table. Hundreds of curious eyes followed her movement across the ballroom. Some assumed she wanted additional security instructions. Others believed she had recognized him from military service. No one imagined the truth. She looked at Daniel, then at Lily, whose bright smile reminded Victoria of childhood memories she had almost forgotten beneath years of responsibility and success. Without caring about the whispers surrounding them, Victoria quietly asked Daniel how he had managed to raise such a joyful daughter despite carrying so much visible hardship. The question caught Daniel by surprise because it was the first time anyone had asked about his life instead of judging it. He explained that grief had nearly destroyed him after losing his wife, but every morning Lily reminded him that love could survive even the deepest pain. He admitted there were days when bills felt impossible, when loneliness became overwhelming, and when exhaustion nearly convinced him to give up. Yet every difficult choice became easier once he remembered that his daughter was watching him learn how to face life with courage instead of bitterness. Victoria listened without interruption. For years she had hidden behind achievements, believing success could silence loneliness. Her parents had built an enormous business empire but rarely found time to simply sit beside their daughter. Money had surrounded her entire life, yet genuine affection often felt painfully absent. Looking at Daniel and Lily together, she realized she had spent decades chasing admiration while secretly longing for the ordinary warmth of a family dinner. Over the following weeks Victoria found reasons to support the veterans community without drawing attention to herself. She quietly visited Daniel's boat repair shop, not as a billionaire seeking publicity but as someone hoping to understand a life completely different from her own. She witnessed him helping elderly neighbors without charging them, mentoring young veterans struggling to rebuild civilian lives, and encouraging Lily to treat every person with equal kindness regardless of their social status. Each visit slowly changed Victoria's understanding of what real success looked like. Daniel never asked Victoria for financial help. Even when she offered business opportunities, he insisted on earning every opportunity honestly. His quiet integrity inspired everyone around him because it proved that dignity cannot be purchased. Eventually Victoria partnered with veteran organizations to expand Daniel's repair business into a training center where former service members could learn valuable skills and rebuild their confidence. She invested not because Daniel needed saving, but because his character deserved to be multiplied through others. The training center soon became a place where broken confidence transformed into renewed purpose. Veterans found employment, struggling families discovered hope, and young people learned that strength is measured by compassion as much as courage. Lily happily welcomed everyone with the same bright smile that had first caught Victoria's attention, reminding visitors that even the smallest acts of kindness can begin extraordinary changes. If this story has touched your heart so far, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope today, leave your thoughts below, and subscribe to Soulful Stories for more emotional stories that celebrate love, resilience, and second chances. Before we reach the end, tell us in the comments, do you believe true character is worth more than money? Years later, people still remembered the glamorous charity gala, but not because of the billionaire's speech or the famous guests who attended. They remembered the evening because one quiet single father refused to measure people by their wealth, and one successful billionaire discovered that the greatest investment she could ever make was believing in genuine goodness. Daniel never became famous, and Victoria never stopped being wealthy, but together they proved something far more valuable. Kindness recognizes no social class, love creates riches that money cannot buy, and sometimes the person who ignores the world's brightest spotlight is the one carrying the brightest heart of all.